And we're live, and we're live, and we're live, and we're live. Oh wow, look at this. We're live, guys. Let's start the intro, man.
Hello,
Hello?
hello, what's up, bro?
Hey, it's the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk movies, sports, TV shows, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfuckers. With nary signs. I'm like, what? How can this... They have Photoshop. Photoshop exists when this artist rendition was done. How the fuck is this not cooler looking than a sketch that looks like it was done by a hillbilly off the side of the road? What the fuck are we talking? Why is this a thing?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Steph, Uni Mayor Sr.
Yeah, I don't have to look for you.
Oh, no,
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
and Mike Markadal.
I'm just glad I like vanilla, boring sex like this. I'm glad that the sex I enjoy won't get me killed.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chapelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
Oh, surprise. Nope, can't hear you. Can't hear you. We're live.
And we're live and we're recording. Welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast, your favorite podcast where you come to watch people talk, debate, and argue over their favorite stuff that they have nothing to know about. They have nothing that they know about. I am Nary Science with
Our
me.
well-oiled machine.
Well-oiled machine. If they only knew how recent it was that you came on this. It was during the
Second
intro
6
song.
of countdown.
Yeah. It's funny because I can't hear the countdown because I'm on the ship Wi-Fi. So
Oh,
when I'm on this computer, it doesn't show me the countdown. So I'm just like, I want to keep on going until the screen goes. Like it's a weird thing. Anyways,
you're like, I'm just gonna trust
Besides,
that this bitch is gonna
I-
show up.
yeah, I was like, I'll wait for something to happen. I am Nary Science. With me as usual is Steph Animator Senior.
Hello.
Does it feel weird when somebody says your name without the pause?
At this point, it's becoming a thing where like
You're
it sounds
"Why
like
did
we're
you not
Stephanie Senior.
pause?
I'm like, where's the drama? Where's the flavor?
pause? So much to talk about today. It's bonkers. What
I
they're like.
specifically anything you brought up in the chat to prep, like to let us know, like there's gonna be an episode. I specifically avoided and did not read so that I could be like just fresh.
Well, neither did I. Technically, hold on. I'm just
Oh,
trying to
good,
put up
fun.
the volume here. Well, because I just read
No.
the you know how I do. How long have we known each other? I read
You
I
just
read
read the
headlines, bro.
headlines.
I read
know.
headlines. That's where I go for. Hold on, give me a second.
There is one
there was
detail
a-
from one of those stories that's interesting.
There it is. Yeah, so I read headlines and
Mhm.
what's happened is bonkers. Like it's just I couldn't believe that this stuff happened between recordings as far as like it has it, you know what I mean? It's not yet old news yet. Typically this
Yeah.
stuff would happen right after we finish recording. And it's
Yeah,
like,
usually
all of
this
already
this
came
this
out.
this week the universe was like, I'm gonna give you a little bit of an edge. Just like
It's so bonkers. So
Mhm.
first and foremost, you weren't on the podcast last week, and we did talk about a little
No.
bit about the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp situation, the trial,
Yes.
something of which you have admittedly said you were bamboozled by her at first because
And
you were
very
like Team
yes,
Amber.
very upset about it. Yeah.
You were Team Amber and women and all this shit and from the
Mhm.
testimony and videotapes, video recordings and audio recordings of her own voice, you were like, oh,
Yeah. I'm like, that
Team-
that did not age well
Team
whatsoever.
Amber sucks.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh, I'm part of a bad team. How do I switch teams? How do I
Yeah, this is
transfer?
awful
Putting in my paper.
team. This team is horrendous. I don't want to be here.
Yeah. But it's the beauty.
So
Like the beauty
right.
of like recording and doing this type of things. My opinions last forever. And it's one of those moments where I'm like, I really hope if anyone's watching some of our old shit or like that stuff catches up, they also know to catch up with the more recent things where I'm like, so turns out
So
that's fucked up.
turns out, remember that thing? My bad.
That thing I
That
was
was
really
awful.
adamant about. So adamant about believing the victim. And I'm still very much, for most part, we do still have to try to believe the victim first, so that to alleviate as much trauma as we can. There just has to be better ways to go about it, but we don't know what it is.
So is it
Sucks.
okay? Would it be wrong? And this is me again treading lightly because of the sensitivity of the subject. Would it
Yeah.
be wrong to say, instead of automatically believing the victim or automatically not believing the victim, is to say let's automatically run an investigation? Like,
Well,
isn't
yes,
like let's
automatically running an
automatically do
investigation
our
would be.
let's yeah, it's like let's audit, like instead of like, hey, we have to believe the victim, or we can't believe the victim. Instead of any of those two, be like, we have to figure out what's happening. We have to find out what's happening before we make
Yeah.
judgment calls one way or the other. There has to. I always. That's why I found it weird years ago. I talked about this last week on the podcast. It's like I wasn't team Johnny Depp. I was just like, wait, but the trial hasn't even happened yet, and he's already lost work. Like that seems fucking weird.
So
And then she didn't lose work, and I was like, but how? What?
yeah.
That's awkward. That doesn't seem equal. I think what we're fighting for is equality, and this equality has escaped us.
And I think it's one of those things where it's a bit of like overcompensating in some regards. But with best intentions, I think it's one of the things where he's in this case, it seems like he's going to get his vindication, which is still good for the people who get falsely accused to get vindication. Sure.
Vindication.
Fantastic. The numbers are still mostly skewed, like mostly towards people either reporting on abuse much after it's happened, because it's a really tough thing to go through. Like a lot of times victims only step forward when they feel like some sort of sense of power back or something shifts and changes, which means that a lot of times like there's a bit of time that's lagged, so you kind of lose that edge on an investigation. Kind of like, so that sucks. Like that part sucks. So I don't know how the immediate investigation wouldn't be super traumatic for someone to go through too. To be like, oh no, let me like dredge up all my shit. Suck.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough one, but
Yeah.
I talked about it. I've been in relationships where I've been hit physically and stuff, and so it's it's funny. I never thought of myself for years. I never thought of myself as like a quote unquote victim, and that I know has to do with societal gender roles. Like
Yeah.
because I'm a man, I never thought, oh, my now ex-girlfriend, then girlfriend, hitting me, causing, like literally beating me up, blood coming out. I never thought of that as abuse. I thought of that as like, oh, that's crazy. That was a crazy. Like I never used words like victim or abuse or like violence. I never used any of those words. I used words like, hey, that was a fucking crazy time. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just a weird. But she has apparently gone on the offensive now, or defensive, I guess, defense. She has fired her PR firm days ahead of her scheduled hearing. Like she's going to testify. And just days before she testifies, she has fired her PR firm, claiming that they're not doing a good enough job, or they're not doing a good job of the spinning the stories, or whatever the fuck, however you want to say it. But she's not looking good in the public eye. And I'm just like, and me and Mike made jokes about it because we were like, there's only so much a PR firm can do when they have tapes of you saying that you shat in his bed. Like what? How can you spin that?
The most this PR team could spin is like, look at these two shitty people being together. Like the most this PR team could do. There's no, like, I don't think there's any PR team that's going to be able to actually switch it so that she's completely in the right again. The
Right.
only thing they could do is be like, "Oh, let's drag them both down. Let's
Yeah, I
drag
think
them
it's
both down and
damage. I
even it
think at this
out."
point it's damage control, right? It's
Yeah.
not. It's no longer. You can't salvage something, but you can say like, let's. I get. I'm assuming. Martika, welcome. It's saying that she hopes Johnny gets vindicated. No one deserves to be hit.
Mhm.
And she also says that her career is over after this. That's what her belief is. And I would argue that she didn't have a career.
She really didn't have much
So
of one. Like honestly, like
much of
so
one.
Admittedly, Amber Heard was one of like my big Hollywood crushes back in the day when I thought she was gonna be something. She's just really pretty to look at.
Oh yeah. Which makes all of this crazy behavior, stories of crazy behavior, much more believable. You go,
Really.
yeah, it's the
Well,
How I
because
Met
for
Your Mother
ages I was
crazy.
like, "Oh my
It's the
god!" Like,
crazy hot scale. It's the crazy hot scale from How I Met Your Mother.
yes, but like
And
none
when
of
you
it's
look at
worth
a
it. None of
person,
it. None of
when you
it.
look at a person this beautiful and they go, she's crazy, you go, yeah, I believe that. Uh-huh. Like it just doesn't. As a dude, I just believe. I don't know why. I just believe. Again, not victim blaming or not blame.
Mhm.
But if you told me, and again, this is good. Whoever I mention is gonna sound insensitive, like I'm calling them ugly. But I'm just saying, in comparison, you know what I mean? Like if you give me XYZ celebrity who's not great looking, and you'd be like, she's crazy, she hit me. You'd be like, really? She did that? And then meanwhile, the first time I heard about Amber Heard shitting on Johnny's bed, literally defecating on his bed, I was like, yep, that sounds about. I believe it.
See,
That story tracks.
I've tried to be ambivalent with so many of the like supposed things have come out because I don't know all of the accusations, right? Because there's just so much shit is just floating around the internet. I don't know what actually has come out in the case or what people have like been like I heard through the grapevine, like kind of thing. Like I don't
If you
know.
say gay vine, that's hilarious. If you said gay vine,
I did accidentally say gay vine eventually. Like originally.
I
It's been
heard
a
through
day.
the gay vine. I was like,
I heard the gay
what?
vine. Look, just some people are really
Is it
into
like a
pop
regular
culture.
vine, just a lot more partying, like a lot more like just
We just get the news a little bit sooner, just because it's just like,
we just we just get
bitch.
more fun news.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, it's usually led in with like, bitch, let me tell you. Um, but yeah, like but the poop thing, the poop thing was, I had mentioned this in the comments. I don't know if you guys you brought that up when you guys were recording. That the reason I found it so easy to believe that one little piece that came out was because of the fact that I've seen it happen. Like I wasn't
Yeah, you told me that you had a
there.
cousin that did that or something, right?
No,
To your
not a
brother
cousin.
or your
One of my brother's exes did something like that. I just remember,
right.
and as the true sibling I am, I lost my shit laughing when I got the
You
phone
lost your
call from
shit
one.
laughing.
Yeah, when
Lost
my
your
other brother called, cracking up, being like, "Guess what happened to so and so?"
Yeah, I mean that's
All of
super.
us were like,
Here's the thing, though, right? As grotesque as it is, it's still
Mhm.
funny. It's inherently funny. Poop is inherently funny. There's a reason why kids laugh at poop because it's inherently funny. Like a human being. If you told me like that whole thing in The Office, right? I don't know if you saw the whole show, the run, but like Andy Bernard pooping on his boss's car, that's funny. It's just fun. Is it grotesque and gross? Yes. Should he be arrested? Absolutely.
"Yeah, well, because
But
the
it's
part
still
that makes it
funny.
ridiculous is the necessary squat." Like that's the part that makes it ridiculous.
I mean,
To
that's
me,
just all of it.
that's always the part, because that's the part that made me lose it laughing about like the girl who did it to my brother, because she like
To
she got really
no,
really
but she could have
angry.
lifted her shoe up to her butt. His shoe.
No, he wasn't even there. Like so she.
Yeah, but he pooped. She pooped in his shoe, right? That's what happened.
Oh, Amber, I was talking about the girl who did it to my brother.
No, I'm talking about that. Amber did it on his bed.
See, I don't know. The girl who did it to my brother, she was really really angry at him for something that turned out to not be real.
By the way, you don't have to
Uh,
say really, really angry. We got that from context. She shit in his property.
she pissed. She didn't shit. She
Oh,
pissed.
pissed. Oh,
She pissed.
that's nothing. That's hilarious.
No, because to me, I think it might be worse because poop can be scooped.
I agree. I was actually just thinking that. I was like, you know what? It might actually be worse because once you pee on something, you gotta
Not only did
wash
she
it. Now that's
pee,
gonna be strained.
she morning peed.
The thick pee. The long
Yeah.
pee.
Yeah. Like like early in the morning, came into the house, ran into his room, locked him out of his own room, and like just started trashing shit and like wrote on his walls. It's a whole thing. Wrote on his walls, and then at like my brothers heard the commotion, and like my one brother's the one who's it's happening to is trying to figure out what's going on. The other one is just like in the background cackling. And then she leaves the house very, very quickly after that. And that my other brother
Very, very
noticed.
quickly.
Yeah.
That's
My other brother
hilarious.
notices that the back of her shorts look kind of discolored, like wet, as she's running out.
Oh,
And he's like,
that's how
wait,
quickly she
what?
did it, huh?
She did it really fucking quickly. And then they ran into the room, saw that it was trashed. And at that moment was when they realized that the reason that she was discolored was she had climbed on top of the bed, scooched her shorts down. So she didn't take off her shorts. She scooched her shorts down and then did the pee squat and pissed in the middle of his bed, like the morning pee. And then escaped and like ran out. Weirdly enough, this wasn't the end of the relationship.
And the sex must have been incredible.
The scale,
It's
the hot to crazy scale. It was
hot,
in
hot
effect.
crazy scale. I'm telling you, it had to be crazy.
Yeah.
Martika says, burn. Also stuff. A story came out that she has a perfect face, symmetrically speaking.
I believe it.
Melly says
I
that,
believe it.
ooh, the poop thing reminds me of a story. I guess we all have a poop story. I don't have a poop story,
No,
which is weird.
Melly knows about this
Melly's
story
talking about your
because-
same story?
Yes, she's talking about this story because
Okay.
she was in on all the
'cause-
calls and shared a wonderful convo with Abuela.
Melly says had a wonderful convo with Abuela.
Yes. So my poor grandmother was there when this happened, like downstairs, and her being the grandmother she was, immediately went in and started trying to like clean the entire room. And she was trying to be really, really polite when my brother got back with this girl. And then she was just like, in Spanish, it all makes more sense. But she was just to me like, oh no, like when she like, basically the equivalent of like when she had her accident in the room. And like Melly was around when we were having that conversation. She like whipped around to her and she was like, Pita. Like say like no, so what do you know? Like she said meo. Like she like the way she said it in front of my grandmother's face. And it was like the moment she said that is when my grandmother, this like 80-year-old something woman, like super proper, just like lost her shit laughing, and she couldn't.
Laura says, "Wow, how did that not end it?" Crazy hot scale, man.
Crazy hot scale. She was my my brother got sick shortly after that, and I guess he got scared because he got sick and he had like like when you get sick and to this point where his like heart got like inflamed. Like swollen?
Oh, I haven't
like,
been that sick. I had
like he got real sick.
I had OG COVID. I've talked about this in the podcast. I had OG COVID in January 2019, and I was in a fetal position in my bed, and I apologized to God for nothing specific. I just said I'm sorry, God, because that's how much.
I'm sure you meant 2020.
2020. What did I say?
You said 2019.
Oh, 20. Yeah. I was the one that bit the bat. I was I'm sorry.
I was traveling. I was trying to try new shit. I want to see if I could fit it into the routine.
No, January 2020. I'm sorry. January 2020. Yeah. I had COVID unconfirmed because they weren't even testing it back then. But I went to the hospital twice. They checked me for the flu. It was not the flu. And I was in a fetal position, hocking up a lung. And I apologized to God. I don't know what for, but that was the amount of pain I was in. So I can totally
done something.
I could totally relate to your brother getting sick and then being like his life flashing before his eyes, going like, you know what? I don't want to be with this crazy bitch. I'm out. I'm done.
No, he stayed with her because of it.
Oh no, I can't relate to that. That's dumb.
No,
That's
see, he got like shortly after this, like he got sick. Like, I mean, shortly after he got sick, and because he got sick, she very much rushed to his side after their argument. She rushed to his side, and at that moment, he was just like, I think he just kind of like stuck with it. He was like, "Yeah, she's here, she's fine. I must have done something fucked up."
Do we know why she peed on his bed?
She thought he cheated on her. He didn't.
Okay,
but his friend was under like a lot of pain meds and like told her he had. The thing is, he was like high, like imagining shit. So, unreliable narrator. He still stayed friends with a friend after that, though, too.
But not with her, right?
Shortly after the let's get back together while he was like sick in the hospital, then he was like, maybe not. maybe we don't. After enough of us looking at him being like, she pissed her bed.
Laura says she didn't even have facts. Run.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when I kept telling him, like, dude, just remember, crazy shark eyes. She has crazy shark eyes. I regret my language to her back then because she's actually she must have been going through some shit. She's actually a very nice girl, but like she was going through it, man. She's a responsible mom and everything now. Like,
you know, I wonder if she ever gets mad at her kids for peeing in the bed. She can't, right? She can't get mad at that.
Like, I know that she has like a really like good, healthy, like fucking with each other relationship with her siblings. So I'm sure it comes up. Like, I'm sure her brothers like let her know.
I like the fact that so we're at the point in our society where we no longer say, "Oh, that bitch is crazy." We go, "Oh, she's going through some things."
Well, because like
here's the
reality
thing, though,
that sometimes we go through some shit and it like makes you temporarily.
But here's the thing, though, both of those statements could be true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be a crazy bitch because you're going through some shit.
Yeah.
Like what Will Smith did is fucking crazy. But he did it most likely because he's going through some shit. So
yeah, we all have a temporary
both of those statements are true. Like, I like the fact that among other people, you're not the only one. Other people are like, "Oh, you can't say crazy anymore." I'm like, you could definitely say crazy. We just now know that there are reasons behind the crazy. There are reasons causing the crazy to not only appear but flare up.
Yeah. Well, because crazy can be really dismissive too. Like saying like, "Oh, so they're just crazy. They're just crazy."
The way you say anything. If you just say, "Oh, she's going through some shit," that's dismissive, right? Especially if you do the hand movement, you go, "Oh, she's going through some shit." Like,
well, sure, the hand movement does a lot, but like, no, but I'm saying like, if you saying that someone's going through some shit, I feel like has like an inherent empathy in it, like it kind of like they're going through it. Just saying like, bro, that person's crazy. It's beginning and end, right? And like a lot of times, like trauma leads to
it's
crazy.
all context. It's all context.
Yeah.
I guess I think nowadays is not the same. Saying, bro, oh man, that chick is crazy. Nowadays is not exactly the same as when we were growing up in the 80s and 90s, where when you called somebody crazy, it was like beginning and end statement. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, there's room. Like, oh, that chick is crazy. There's still room for like, oh, you know what I mean? It's not at least for me.
Like,
maybe it's just the way. Maybe it's all the way we perceive things.
Sure, like the main reason I don't actually call this ex of his crazy is I did at the time, mind you, because it was
you also thought that Amber Heard was
because yes, our opinions change with information.
So clearly,
at the time it seemed like, and like. The thing is, with time, looking back, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I would necessarily call this person crazy because this
suspect.
Well, because this was the one thing, right? This is like the one thing that she did in the entire relationship that was off. Everything else was normal teenage shit.
Steph, it's
a big thing. Yes, admittedly, yes, it's a big thing, and it was enough for me to be like, bro, end it. Like, end it. Like, nothing good comes from this.
I like the fact that you're 20 plus years later, you're like, man, it was only one thing that it was a huge
no. But I'm saying like the reason I don't say extended is because this was like, it was a lapse in judgment. But I think it was a lapse in judgment that came from being like a fucking hormonal teenager. Like, I think she was like, I don't know. I just would love to know the reasoning. To this day, I just want to know what the thought process was. Because my insistence back then, I know, Melly, my insistence back then is the same thing I insist now. At some point, when she climbed up on the bed and unzipped her pants and pulled them down and squatted, there was no where was the little voices being like, maybe not, maybe don't, maybe not this.
So Laura says that it's all about communication. People have to explain or justify they're crazy.
Sure.
Sure. Melly says that she feels like we have so much more information regarding reactions and behaviors. The behavior is a reaction to an emotional trigger feeling, right or wrong.
I mean, she's not.
But also,
She's
Semeo.
stating X. But also what? Semeo.
Semeo.
Yeah. Also,
So
she followed it
there's
with that with
also that.
Semeo though. Like, I love Melly is very much. This is why we're friends, because she's like, I will give you the caring explanation, but also,
But also, I will give you the Cuban explanation. So
Yeah.
there's
Semeo,
that.
like-
Yeah, there's apparently a as of 3 days ago, there was the what's that thing called where you sign a petition? There was a petition to get to remove Amber Heard from Aquaman 2, and as of 3 days ago, it was past 3 million signatures. And every website that's reporting it, none of them post a link to this so I can't sign it. I haven't signed it yet, but I really would like to sign it. I'm just too lazy to Google petition for it. But there's a petition, and then there's a story that came out, and this is not official news from Warner Brothers. This is not, but there's a story that came out that says that she is in less than 10 minutes of screen time in
Oh, so be
Aquaman 2.
affordable.
And here's the thing: people are saying that it's too much. They're like, "Oh, she should even have 10 minutes." I agree. I think she should have 2. I think we should have it to 2 minutes. And people are like, "She shouldn't be in the movie at all." And I'm like, "You want a good death scene? You want to be able to visually see, like."
That's why you're
You know what I
assuming
mean?
that she has 10 minutes because her character probably bites it.
Well, I hope it's a weird thing because I am a huge fan of Mera, the character. Mera, the character, is a
Just
fucking
recast it.
badass. She is
Like, why
awesome.
just
She's
recast
dope.
it, bro? Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's my problem with this. Is like I think they should have recasted it before filming Aquaman 2. But since they did it, now my thing is like my initial gut reaction would be like, yeah, kill her off. But then you go, no, I don't want to kill her off because Mera is a dope ass character.
yeah.
Like, why would you want to? I
Yeah,
don't want
like
to lose that
she is not the
character.
character. Just recast it. If they're talking about the minutes, and I don't know, bro, but look, movie studios will always just make like price decisions. Think Henry Cavill's mustache. Like, they're not gonna necessarily do what's best for the movie sometimes.
Shout
And,
out
like,
to
what would be
Paramount
best for
for
the movie?
being petty as fuck for that. That's hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm.
That will
yeah, like,
always
it just-
still. Like you know what Paramount did, right? They told
Yeah,
Warner
yeah.
Brothers that he can't shave it because it's necessary for his character. Meanwhile, when you watch the end result movie, you go, that definitely was not necessary for his character. He definitely could have shaved it in the middle of the movie and explained it like, I'm a spy, I'm shaving it because I'm going undercover. Like it's
Yeah. You didn't even have to explain it. He literally could have just shown up later on. As
yeah.
long as I mean, maybe it was a continuity thing. Maybe they filmed the later scenes. Who'd fucking know?
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's so
But, like-
weird how Paramount was like, it's imperative that this character has a mustache. Like, but it isn't though. You're just
Yeah.
being petty.
Yeah,
You're
it's
just
a
being
big
an
character in
asshole.
a movie not many people are watching. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's a Mission Impossible movie. It was
Yeah, I
pretty
guess.
popular. It's a pretty popular movie.
I don't know. I just
but
haven't really watched any Tom Cruise stuff. Save Tropic Thunder. For years. He was great
Why?
in Tropic Thunder though.
Why?
I don't know. I
Tropic
have
Thunder
a
was
distaste for
fantastic.
him. Yeah, I have a distaste for him.
You know,
Just now, I just-
Missy has a distaste for him too. So much so that she like everything that he does, like no matter he could fucking save 1 million children, and then be like, yeah, but, and I'm like, okay, like
Yeah,
it's
that's
like-
the way I am with. I'm kind of like that with him too. Like he does stuff, and I'm like, all right, man. And still.
I
Yes.
don't give a fuck. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. I separate the art from the artist, and I think he's, you know, when
then-
you if you don't talk about religion to him, he's supposedly a really
But
super
see,
nice guy.
separating art from the art is fucking tricky, man. It's a fucking.
It really isn't though. It's tricky.
Unless they're
Again,
hurting
everybody
people.
has their
Unless
own
they're
rules.
hurting people.
Everybody has their own rules, right?
Mhm.
But
I guess
I
they all have their
only
own
want
code,
I
but-
only want Amber Heard to lose her job because Johnny lost work, and I think that's fair.
Okay, that seems like-
To me, that's the only reason. If
That seems like a
Johnny was
little bit
still
of an
doing
obsession with
Pirates-
quid pro quo. To me, I'm like, it be all about her losing her job if it's just because it's the right thing to do because she's an abuser. That's it.
No, I'm one of
See-
those like it's okay. No, I don't care. If Johnny
Finish the
was still
sentence.
working,
Finish the sentence.
if
That
Johnny
didn't
was
sound,
still
that didn't
work-
sound right.
what?
He's like, I'm one of those ones where it's okay, and then you didn't finish that sentence. I'm like, finish it because it didn't come
I'm
out right.
continuing it. If Johnny had not lost his jobs, both being Fantastic Beast and or Jack Sparrow, if he had not lost work, and you told me that Amber Heard was still in Aquaman 2, I wouldn't give a fuck. But I'm like in this mission to get Amber Heard fired because it's fair. It's only fair. He lost work before the trial came out because you believe somebody that said something before there was a trial. Now that the trial came out and now you have actual proof and like audio proof, fire her too because it's fucking fair. If he didn't lose work,
you wanted to hit her pocket too.
I wanted to hit her pocket because she hit his pocket. And she hit his fucking, more importantly, maybe, selfishly, is she hit the opportunity for me to enjoy his performances in both of those franchises more so.
Which franchise?
So now you're making me miss out on more Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow, more Johnny Depp, Fantastic Beast. So now I'm upset. So now you got to miss out on fucking
I was
Meryl.
okay with him not being in, like, not losing work because of the morals of things. I didn't really mind him getting replaced in Fantastic Beasts for one particular reason. I just didn't like how they styled him. I didn't like how they styled him.
You didn't like character. You didn't like character development.
I didn't like character design. So like it was one of the things where I'm like, at least if they would have kept him, make him hotter. Like make him Johnny Depp because they put him in there and they albinoed him.
Wow, look at that. Huh?
There's a reason.
It's all
for the
about
character.
looks for you, huh? It's all about superficial looks for you.
Yes, because he was supposed to be a romantic fucking interest. He was
so
supposed
what?
to be a romantic fucking interest.
Everybody who's so you're saying that everybody who's romantically involved is society is beautiful by society standards?
No, but his character was described so. If his character was described so,
but his character was described as attractive to that person.
No, I think his character was also described as like this, like very like enigmatic, like attractive, charismatic. Like his character was described as like handsome young man, and like also just the way they styled him.
Never mind. If they categorize him as young, he wasn't that. They failed that part, but he's not young.
I'm saying they made him look older.
Johnny Depp is one of those dudes. Johnny Depp is one of those dudes that has been handsome for so long, just like Leonardo DiCaprio, that it takes you a second look to be like, oh, you're no longer the hot fucking piece of ass anymore.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio
is still a good-looking man, but he's not the hot piece of ass that he was or has been.
Continue saying it that Leonardo DiCaprio used to be one of my biggest fucking crushes. He is now in the place where he is still a handsome man, but he's handsome in the way that Jack Nicholson is handsome. Like he is going in that
grandfather handsome.
But that's where Leo's starting. Leo started at
Jack.
No,
Leo is like
now Jack Nicholson, like the Shining Jack Nicholson.
Oh, of course, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Leo is like a handsome man, as opposed to he has been a hot piece of ass for 30 years, and there's a difference.
Well, the difference is he kept dating he kept dating like supermodels who were of a certain age bracket, and like the difference is starting to show. Leo, maybe.
God bless him. I mean, somebody made a joke about that. I think somebody, who was it? Was it Amy Schumer that said that we gotta preserve this planet because she said Leonardo DiCaprio is all about climate change and preserving this planet for his future girlfriends.
See, to me, I'm like, he's not being sustainable enough. He's going through it too much, just too much wasting.
She is so I don't know. I hope she loses work. I want to sign that petition, but again, all because of in the spirit of fairness. That's all I give a shit about. Hold on.
Oh, I'm trying. Sorry, I distracted by the most recent. I wish I could click on the comments too, because sometimes my eye goes to like a lengthy one, and I'm like, "Ooh, what's that?" But Laura Ann Phillips.
Oh, Laura Ann. What did she write? I have a confession. I have a crush on Johnny Depp since Pirates of the Caribbean. Then I saw him in Chocolate.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. Immediately, I went to
yes,
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. No, immediately I went to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I went I saw him in Chocolate, and
like that's what did it for you.
So because I saw him in Chocolate, and I was like, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, and then I was like, wait, no way, she was a fucking attracted to him in Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Then I had to be like, what else did he do? Oh, chocolate. Oh
Chocolat.
yeah, he was just
Chocolat.
chocolate.
Bro, him and Chocolat, like I will admit. Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen Chocolat, but just the title turns me on. I'm like, I'm in. Like the way you say it, the what it's about, Chocolat. All right, I'm in. Have you seen the sequel?
What?
Caramel.
No. There you go. I was waiting. I'm like, what is it gonna be? I'm just waiting to see which one you're gonna choose.
It's funny because I was gonna choose dark chocolate, and I was like, no, that's more of what, and I that's more, and I forget his name, Medea. I forget his name, Medea.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. That's why I didn't do the joke, because I was like, it would have been fun if I would have remembered Tyler Perry. I'm like, no, Tyler Perry is making a Tyler Perry version. It's called Tyler Perry's Dark Chocolate, which is hilarious. But I forgot the name. Melly says you could ask Siri to Google for you, you lazy son of a bitch. Okay, chocolate. She didn't say that, but she said that. Chocolat was amazing. I love saying chocolat. I love saying chocolat. All right. So, what would surprise you the most? Let me run this story by you. Another story that broke over the weekend.
Yes, please.
Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, they've been dating for a while now. They came out saying that they drink each other's blood.
So Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton,
right,
of the current era. Yes,
right. Which I have a story to tie into that later.
Oh.
An ex-girlfriend of mine gave me a vial of her blood because she was such a fan of Angelina Jolie, and we were dating at that time. And she gave me a vial of her blood because she thought that was the coolest thing in the planet, and I thought it was fucking gross and sick. And I put it away in my drawer, and I never wore it, and then it broke.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was a drop of blood. It wasn't like it wasn't like.
So it was like a
No, it wasn't like the elevators opening up and.
I don't know. When you say vial, I don't know the size of the vial.
Yeah,
like
the vial. It's a vial.
It's not. Necklace.
Yeah, it wasn't a tube. It wasn't a test tube that she took to the fucking
I was
doctor.
kind of picturing like a little bit bigger. Like, so you mean like the little vials, like the ones that they used to put the rice things in?
That's literally what she used. She put the rice, but she didn't fill it up. It was just like a drop of blood. And then here's the thing: by the time you put it in there, that's not airtight. So it fucking dried up. Whatever. Stupid. So she got upset at me that it broke, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it broke before I could wear it, and before I could wear it means ever, because I was never gonna wear that shit. So does that surprise you? Coming from Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, that they drink their blood, that they drink each other's blood. Does it surprise you?
No.
Okay, really so it doesn't surprise me either. Here's the thing: it doesn't surprise me either. Here's what does surprise me. Ready? The Vampire Association has publicly come out to say and warn them to not do that. Let's repeat that. The Vampire Association has publicly come out to say that Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox should not be drinking each other's blood.
My 2022 bingo card did not cover this at all.
So I'm so confused because on one hand, you're the Vampire Association. Why are you condemning drinking each other's blood? Isn't that what the fuck you guys do? One. And two, why is there a Vampire Association in real life? What the fuck is going on? What's happening?
So
there's so many parts of the story that I'm like, what? Huh?
I'll give you another wrinkle. I'll give you another little. I know of the Vampire Association already.
Wow.
Because in high school, I had a boyfriend who was very convinced that they were a vampire.
Oh yeah. We should have hooked them up. Your ex with my ex. We should have hooked them up.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
I'm sorry. They were going through some shit.
Still going through it. But yeah, in order to be a supportive girlfriend, I did my due diligence and did my research and came across a Vampire Association and like what their rules and suggestions were when it came to like safe blood ingestion and stuff, because he was very in it.
Melly's gonna
Yes,
stay
Melly
quiet
knows
on this one, and she's just gonna
because she knows who it
listen to
is.
this. Yes.
Yes,
Mm.
because she knows who it is. I'm going to try to be very discreet. Um, but yeah, it was the whole thing. It was like the migraines if they were out in the sun, and there was a whole like woo-woo new age thing to it about like psychic vampirism, where you can like take energy from other people. I think it was meditation, but
Oh, wait, first of all,
like,
you know that they put that in the first season of What We Do in the Shadows, where they have an energy vampire that sucks the energy out, and it's just like a really boring guy that just sucks the vampire, and then he gets excited off of all the energy that he sucks out of the room. It's fucking great. Like it's hilarious and it's so well done. And
the
his
thing
name
is,
is
the reference
Colin.
is
His name is
oh,
Colin,
okay.
and he dresses in cardigans, and he's a white bald guy that just it's fucking hilarious.
I really want to
But
watch that
that's
show so bad because I love the
so
movie.
it's so funny. It's so
Yeah, and also
funny.
just like anything Taika Waititi touches, like I'm like, I love it. I finally start watching Our Flag Means Death, and oh my god, it's great.
Laura brings up she goes, speaking of vampires, The Lost Boys is a great movie.
It is. This
Melly's
person I
Melly's
dated took
staying
took too much influence from it.
Melly's staying quiet because she got scolded for commenting apparently. Not by me. And
Oh,
she
she got scolded in
calls
commenting back then on the person.
oh, and then and she says that he is the worst empath.
Literally the worst.
Literally the worst empath. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because if an empath is supposed to feel other people's vibes, when you're psychic vampires, you literally suck those vibes. she's right.
Colin. Oh, Colin.
No, Melly's still talking about my ex.
I
She's still
know,
talking
but it just goes.
But I'm
I
like,
know.
I just want to remind you that this was a real human.
But
So, like, when I
don't
hear
know.
things about the Vampire Association putting a statement out, I'm less surprised about that still because I'm like, no, I know they try to
But I'm
promote
very surprised about
responsible
them.
shit.
They even all right. So now we're over the fact that there's a vampire association, which still it's gonna take me a little bit. But all right, we're over that.
They've been around for a while, actually.
Right. Well, I would hope a few thousand years. I mean, if not, if the Vampire Association was established in '97, I find that kind of bullshit. Like that
Well, I
fucking
mean,
this
like, think about it.
association
They
better be
probably needed a
1,000 years
while.
old.
They probably needed a while to, like, get representatives, get it all together.
Yeah, no, they had fucking lawyers 1,000 years ago. That's a thing, right? That's a thing. I know that from watching Johnny Depp movies, and and he's played lawyers in many of them.
I think they're vampires. Like, yeah, I think those two.
Laura
that
wants
wasn't
to know,
him.
what
That
do you
wasn't
think
him.
they do at these meetings? What do you think they do at the association meetings for the vampires? First of all, is there a long table or is there a round table?
Man, it'd be a waste if it wasn't a long table.
But if it's a
Like,
round
with
table, it's kind of
candles.
spooky too, right?
No, round tables just kind of take away some of that edge. Like, I feel like the round table just makes it a little too official. A little too like, we will now
I
equally
think the
all discuss
long
this. The long
table,
table has like more
the
space
long
for the
table
candles.
gives room for comedy where you go, what? Huh? I can't hear what he said. What did he say? What did he say?
Yeah. Be like, we need some headsets. Just yeah. Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm a vampire. I'm not an actual bat. I can't hear what you're saying.
Oh.
Oh God, so stupid. So stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They're going through some shit. I don't want to be dismissive and call the Vampire Association stupid. The Vampire Association is going through some shit. Okay.
Yeah, for a few thousand years, but yeah.
For a few thousand years at least. Yeah. Now news to just happened yesterday.
Mhm.
I don't know if you got this news already because you're in Australia. So for you, it happened today. But Dave Chapelle got rushed on stage, and this guy tried to tackle him on stage while he was performing for the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival in LA.
Yeah, I heard one detail of that blew my mind.
Well, if
like
the detail was that the guy got fucked up, yes, you heard that correctly.
no, the detail was that the guy had a quote unquote fake gun that didn't shoot bullets, shot knives.
It didn't shoot knives. It had a knife blade attached to the barrel of the gun.
Someone mentioned
But
like
it was a
ejecting
real
knives,
knife,
and
though.
I was picturing like something actually ejecting a knife, and I was just like,
No. I mean,
who
that
looked
would
at a gun and was like, I can make this a little more extra? Like,
every horror film guy, every person in
yeah,
a horror
that's true.
film did that. So this was.
So is this like
I'm
a
gonna share.
cavalry thing, like an old school, like just
No,
butt of a
I'll
gun?
share the picture now. I'll share the picture now.
It's fucking
Share
crazy.
screen.
I imagine
That's
Dave Chappelle's okay, right? Because
Yeah,
that probably would have
he's
been the top
oh,
story. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
what?
yeah. And that got passed
Okay,
through
to anyone
security.
who's listening rather than watching the video, it
First
is
of all, go.
literally just
We're on Facebook and YouTube. We live forever.
I know, but someone's
But yeah,
listening to the podcast. It looks like a regular run-of-the-mill handgun with just like an actual just hand what kind of knives is this? I don't know
a
enough about
blade. It's just a
weapons. Just
blade.
a
It's just a
regular
knife
fucking
blade.
blade. Well, I'm not saying because it's not like a kitchen knife, but it's like a looks practically like a little hunting knife, but like just attached to the end of it. Like just
Yeah,
continuing to make it jut out. Like so instead of like a little silencer at the end, it's a little stabby stab. Which
I think they got it. I think that
I
think
was trying
it's
to paint a
understandable.
picture. I think I painted a decent picture of the picture.
Yeah, I think you painted a picture that I wasn't even sure was necessary. But okay. I want to show you a picture of the guy that
Mhm.
tackled him.
That tackled the attacker
No, that
or the actual
the
attacker?
attacker.
No.
The attacker. There's pictures of him getting onto the ambulance because I don't know if you know this, but when you're a celebrity, you go with security places.
Yeah.
Um,
This guy apparently did not know that.
I don't know if he did know that or not, but he should have, and he knows now.
Yes, he
Dave
should.
Chappelle attacker. I'm trying to figure out. I get because there's a bunch of pictures on Instagram, but I can't pull up my Instagram.
I believe you might have put something in our Facebook chat. But continuing. Is there any reason he's just like a random attacker? There was
Oh, I don't know the story. Come on, man. I don't know the story.
WuBro. This is that's freaking terrifying. Like I know people who perform end up having to think about this kind of things all the time. Unfortunately.
Well, I'm not famous enough, so I'm not thinking about it yet.
I don't know if it has anything to do with fame and all to do with in this case I will say crazy. Okay,
So
we're pulling something up. We're having dead air.
is it?
Okay.
I pulled it up.
Oh yeah.
You can't see it?
Yeah, it's up.
Okay.
It's up.
Yeah,
The man is
that's him. And he got beat the fuck up, and his arm is facing the wrong way.
Is that not him? Just wait.
Nope. That's his arm facing the wrong way.
That is huh. I just realized unless this man is extremely double jointed, his shoulder is straight up not in the socket.
Not in the socket. That's
That is a flapping.
That's what
arm
happens
almost.
when you tackle a major celebrity at a major function. Yeah. But yeah. So
Look, obviously this man
good on
was not-
him.
I guess.
I guess.
I mean, like,
I
go
don't-
down the security guards, like, fucking.
Oh, there was video
Get
of
a
like, them
raise.
chasing him around the stage, and then they got him. And then there's no video of him, but it seems like he tripped and fell before he got to police custody.
Sorry, another visual gag for the audio listeners.
Yeah, what? No, yeah, he tripped and fell.
There we go.
Do we have a Am I the Asshole? Do you have one? Am I the Asshole?
To be honest, I do not. I do not have an Am I the Asshole this week. I was going through what Am I the Asshole earlier, but I kept coming across like shit that was like way too fucking real. Like deep, nothing
Oh.
silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, man, I wish I could remember the ones that I had when I did the solo episode because there was such a woman scenario that I was like, this is like a scenario like that women's opinions would matter more so than men's. And
Yeah. Do you remember what it was?
I don't. I was. That's what I'm saying. I will.
Because you've piqued my interest, and
There's
now I
one
need
that
to know what the
says.
fuck that is.
There's one that says, "Am I the asshole for refusing to bond my sister-in-law out of jail?"
All right.
Let's go
Curious.
to that one. You got my attention. Now you've got my curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the asshole for refusing to bond my sister-in-law out of jail? Kind of a long story. My sister-in-law hooked up with this super shady dude a few months ago. Family hasn't seen much of her since they met. My wife, late Sunday night, got a call from county jail. Her younger sister was arrested with him and a few others. I'm the only one in the family that can afford the percentage of the bail's bondsman or the jail bondsman. Sorry. So of course, all eyes on me. Sister-in-law has never been in jail before, so they want her out. I told my wife I think her sister should sit it out.
Yo, why did she get arrested?
I don't know.
Oh.
Let it scare her. She's claiming she's done with her boyfriend, supposedly. My father-in-law is blowing my phone up nonstop, basically demanding I go bail her out right now. Few weeks ago, my sister-in-law and her boyfriend came to our house asking for money, and they had some ironic story that I didn't believe. But my wife and I agreed to give them $100. After they left, I realized one of my tools were gone from the garage. It's about a $200 hammer drill. It's two sentences, so that's why it's about a $200 hammer drill. They both denied taking it. My father-in-law threw that in my face this morning, saying how I accused them of stealing something that I misplaced, but it hasn't turned up. And I knew exactly where it was the day they took it. So yeah, karma's a bitch, and she belongs where she's at. My mother-in-law, literally the only one that hasn't made me feel like a horrible person for not bailing her daughter out. Rest of my wife's family has been slinging me through the mud since Sunday night. I'm not putting our house or my truck up for collateral because there's no guarantee she'll even go to court. I have plenty of money to cover her full bail amount. I'd rather go find a struggling family and give it to them before I bail her ass out. Am I the asshole?
I don't know if he's the asshole, but this is definitely the hill he's choosing. This is the hill he's choosing to die on. Because, like, it seems like she has a pattern, but at the same time, the pattern is still a suspected pattern. Like, he doesn't actually know that she has anything to do with any of these things. It could be the guy is a douche. Like, it really could be the guy's a douche, and she is realizing the guy's a douche and into some bad shit.
Laura's
But
saying, why is it his problem?
yeah, like, yeah, but look, let's face it. Like, it's his problem because no one else has the money, and like they're like, well, you're family now, and family looks out for family. And in some instances, fine, that can be the case. It is very much like this is his making his decision to make this the hill he dies on. Do I blame him? No, because he thinks that she's been doing shit and like getting away with it for a while, and then maybe she should get the reality of things. But because everyone else has already put it on him, I feel like this like sister-in-law is not even gonna learn shit. In the end, when she gets out of jail, she's still gonna just be focused on him. So he's gonna end up getting to be the bad guy in this scenario.
Laura says people are responsible for their own choices, which is the most Republican thing that's ever been said on this podcast. I'm not saying I disagree with you, Laura. I'm just saying that seems very much pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of fucking talk. Again, not saying I disagree. I'm just making a statement that that's what it sounds like. I am very much impressed with this guy to not cave into the pressure of his wife's family and his wife.
If her mom is backing him,
I don't think his mom is. I don't think her mom is backing him. I think her mom is her mom is the only one that hasn't made him feel like shit for it. Nowhere did it say that her mom was like, "You're making the right decision." But there's a difference between saying you're making the right decision and not saying, "Hey, you're an asshole. Go fucking bail my daughter out." And she's just not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I am impressed with this guy because marriage will make you.
It's so fucking tricky, bro.
Will make you do that like, hey, I don't think this is right, but to save my marriage or to save an argument in my marriage, I'm gonna go against my better judgment here. And I think he's just sticking to. Honestly, I think he's just doing it out of pettiness. Like, fuck you, you stole my fucking drill hammer, my hammer drill, so I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it seems like he was kind of more focused on that rather than like, look, they've already shown some. Like he's more of doing those. Like, no, fuck you, you stole my shit. You stay there.
I love the fact that he also threw in, I have plenty of money to cover the whole thing.
Yeah, I know that. Like to me, it's one of those things where I'm like, well, bro, don't. You didn't have to go. You could have just stuck to the ground of like, look, I think she's done some shit. I want her to stay there.
She's got to learn her lesson. But he was like, no, I got plenty of money. But fuck her. I'd rather give that money away to a family that needs it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Melly
like,
seems to think that because the mom hasn't made him feel bad, she's choosing to quietly agree with him. And she can't verbalize it against her daughter, but she's in agreement.
yeah, but that kind of puts him in the rough spot, right? Because like she's like, oh, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm not gonna say shit because then she doesn't want to be on the bad camp either. Like it's kind of throwing him to the wolves regardless, because no one is gonna focus. Like they're only gonna focus on the vocal person. They're only gonna focus on him because they're thinking it's his decision that now that she's staying in jail, rather than she did some shit, she's now in jail. I don't foresee in a situation in which I wouldn't like bail an in-law out, especially if it was their first time getting arrested for something.
Yeah. No, your in-laws are great though.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
different.
But my in-laws are angel humans. If they were in jail for something, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? No. You don't belong there.
Take those angels out of this. Well, it's Australian prison too. I mean, how bad could that be? I mean,
I have no concept of it.
I've never seen documentaries about Australian prisons. At least not modern day. Every Australian prison documentary that has been mentioned and is like, this is how the country got founded.
It's not great. It's not great. Colonization.
Melly says that she's quietly neutral. I guess I don't think he's an asshole. But let me rephrase that. I think he is an asshole because he's doing it out of pettiness. But I don't think it's the wrong decision ultimately. But I think the reason for him doing it is
because of a fucking drill.
Asshole.
He's doing it because of the drill.
Yeah, he's doing it because of the fucking his father-in-law. Like, oh, you see, you wrongfully accused her. I didn't wrongfully. They fucking stole my hammer, dude. They stole my drill. They sold that shit for fucking peanuts. You know,
they probably didn't get the right amount for it.
Well, I mean, they're probably looking
it's
for
just a
drug money.
random thing to take.
No, it's something that
hammer
they
drill?
know it's pricey and that's available to them to take.
I guess, but the thing is, like, yet again, I go back to the fact that we don't know if she had anything to do with it, and he doesn't either.
Oh,
Like,
come on. Okay. See, now you're being like the father-in-law.
I have seen plenty of people be in situations where they're with someone that the person did something and they're like, "What the fuck did you just do?" I've had people do that, like around me, and I'm like, turned around and be like, "The fuck did you
Right,
say?"
but the fact that there was, I mean, okay, maybe, but so maybe she wasn't in on the heist. Son of a bitch, I'm not in. But if she found out about it later, then she's still corporal, you know. She's
culpable, yeah.
So
yeah, no, yeah. At that point, she does have to.
Laura says it's true. That's happened to me. Laura says that she's been in a situation where somebody did something wrong. I'm assuming stole something, and you didn't know about it.
Yeah, you turn on, you're like, "The fuck you did?" Like
what?
Yeah,
I kind of did that one time. I kind of walked out of Target with a bunch of plates, and they didn't charge me for them.
How did you just walk out of Target with a bunch of plates?
So I'm gonna fudge the details on this one a little bit, right? So I went to a housewarming, and as a gift, I was gonna gift these people dishes. They had a registry. So Target, you go, and then they told me, hey, the name it's under my name. It's already waiting for you at the guest services, whatever the fucking, I don't know, whatever that place is. So I went there and I said, I'm looking for XYZ person's plates. And they go, oh yeah, here you go. And then they just gave me the plates. And they said, do you need anything else? And I said, no. And they said, okay, thank you. Okay, I'm leaving now. And they're like, have a good day. Okay. And then I left with a fucking whole box of fucking plates that I was legitimately ready to purchase, and Target was like, "You go now."
Okay. I don't know if that's you accidentally walking out with a bunch of plates or you
I didn't
taking
say
advantage of the fact that you were
I didn't
given
say
plates.
accidentally. Did I say accidentally?
Okay.
I didn't mean accidentally. I said I didn't mean to, but it's one of those things where I was like, I came here completely prepared, fully prepared to pay for these things, but you're not
Mhm.
charging me. So I'm just gonna walk. And then the person I was with, that I was dating at the
It
time,
was a
was like,
corporation.
"Oh, I'm gonna go into the store and buy something." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! You're not doing shit. Come with me now." Like,
You're not doing shit.
you're not doing shit. I
We
want to
have
buy, and I
plates.
think it was like, I think at one point they wanted to buy gum, and they're like gonna give their credit card. Don't fucking buy with your credit card, you stupid fuck. And they're like, "What?" They were like so lost. They had no idea what was happening, and I had to like tell them in the car. I'm like, "Dude, this is fucking plates."
Oh my god, it's the weirdest crime. Go,
It
go,
really
go,
is.
go.
Go.
This
We got fucking
dishwasher
plates.
safe.
Go.
It's dishwasher and microwave safe. We gotta move.
This is a giant box. It has enough for 6 people. 6.
We
That's
can
way
have a
too
dinner
much. There's only
party.
2 of them in the apartment. Why are they buying this many?
So you did it on behalf of someone else.
So Laura's giving her story. Laura's giving us her story. She says, "My ex used to sell things on eBay and would send empty boxes to the buyer, but used my address, but we didn't live together."
Bro, did
She
we have
had
the same ex?
and then she said,
Laura.
she said, "I had no idea until years later."
Ooh.
Rookie says that it wasn't stolen, it was donated. I agree. I concur.
It was also a giant corporation. So like
Melly says, "Wow, I'm gonna pee." This is adulthood, by the way. And by the way, you're not gonna go pee. You're gonna meh.
man.
Anyways, all right. So that's the podcast. That's the episode. I gotta go. I got a show I gotta do. Thank you for checking out the podcast. Check out the other podcasts on the Geek Bro Network that include, but are not limited to, Better Let Me Tell You, the Kick Flicks podcast, the martial arts movie podcast that I do with Mike, which is typically here. Oh, we didn't even play Where's Mike? What do you think Mike is?
Oh shit. Mike is a little held up in dealing out his vigilante justice.
I'm gonna say that
He's
is
Ratman.
he is heading he is busy at the Vampire Association trying to figure out if he's gonna buy a round table or a,
He's
a
like, guys,
long
guys,
table.
how about this? How about this? A rhombus. Just a
All right.
rhombus.
He's like, guys, it's perfect for playing D&D. Think about it. Anyways, so yeah, go to geekbro.net, check out the other podcast on the Geek Bro Network. That's geekbro.net. Again, and then Chow Like a Best with Mike Valdez, Cramocopia with Jeff and Q. So make sure you guys check that out. Rookie says, one last comment here. Stuck repeating a cold December day until he learns his life lesson. That is a good.
Wow.
That is a good. Where is Mike? And Melly
Yeah.
says he's stuck in the runs at the Vampire Association. He's stuck with the runs in the Vampire Association and is missing the meeting. All right, right on. Thank you guys
It's
for playing
even
along.
worse.
Go to
It's even worse.
way
just like
worse.
he's-
Go to geekbro.net. Check out the other podcast on the network. We love you. Thank you so much. Bye.